Hey guys, what is going on? You-Rounder here, and today we're going to look through some hands where I called on the river. What I've done here is I've filtered for, let's go into our filters. So I've just gone to river action as call. So this will be hands where we got to the river and called. I'd like to drill down a little bit more, but it's kind of tricky. I'm not a pro with Hold'em Manager 2 since I just downloaded it. What I do want to do is let's go ahead. I'm going to start with 2 pair for the hands we look at. And I went to just largest pot size because I don't want to just look at the losing pots. I want to look at all of them and identify if we can use some basic rules, such as, let's go to our documents here, on-screen poker info. So this is like our basic rules. Don't call large bets light on turn and river, and thinking about whether our range is protected or capped. Players do not raise the flop or turn often enough as bluff, and players do not bluff the river often enough. So we're going to kind of keep those generalities in mind, and I'm going to kind of hit all of these points, although they're very similar. I'm going to try to hit those on each of these hands and see if those rules sort of apply to these hands. And if we could have maybe done a little better on, we'll just let's just filter for big blinds. Basic filter, common filter, board, hand value, bet size. I just want to look at like the pot size. Made bet, facing bet. Excuse me. I would have thought it would be in basic filters. Okay, well, I'm sure it's here, and I'm sure it's not that hard to find, but I don't see it for some reason. That's okay. So anyway, there, just turned on. Hold on. All right. Oh, I pull my desk up a little bit. Hopefully the audio comes out a little bit better in this video. My audio has been just been sort of struggling a little bit with audio. I'm not sure why, but yeah, so we're gonna go by we'll just hit replay all, and we'll take a look. Now there's no HUD set up here, so I'm not sure if we can turn one on, just a basic HUD. Show HUD stats. Use stats up to day of hand. Okay, I guess maybe there's no default HUD setup, but that's okay. Let's just not worry about the HUD for now. So here, King Jack. Let's kind of go quick. Call fine. Raise is probably okay too. Here, check call seems good. So now he's betting pot on the turn. So I would say that we can probably pull one of our rules in here and just give an idea that, like, for one, turn call seems very good, but and let me see here. Yeah, and I mean, we obviously can have ace jack here, king jack, queen jack. So I would say that our range is protected. We could have called with pocket sevens. We could have called with pocket twos. I should probably turn off hole cards so that we're not like staring at a set the whole time. simply because I don't know if that really helps too much. So let's kind of come up with a checklist a little bit. So one would be, is our range protected? And the answer is, I mean, yeah, obviously we have top pair here, so we are protected with strong hands, but we can also probably be reasonably expected to even call, some players might call with 2s, 7s, pocket jacks would probably 3-bet. Okay, pocket kings, queens, aces are gonna 3-bet. So we're a little bit capped here at the sense that we probably don't have overpairs. However, we still can definitely have plenty of top pairs in our range, and players generally aren't trying to get you to fold top pair. Okay, and then so that's number one, and we'll say we'll adjust these as we go, but is opponent betting large on turn? And or river. I'm not sure if that's exactly how I'm going to want that to go, but in general, pretty much, is our range protected? That's number one. If our range isn't protected, we need to be a little bit more careful. However, that also requires a bit of a thinking opponent. So I'm not sure, that might actually be number two if we really think about it. Maybe the more important thing is opponent betting large on turn and or river? So that is just going to massively indicate strength for our opponent when they're betting large on the river. Another factor in this hand is that we have clubs, so we block his flush draws. We also block top pair. And our opponent's completely uncapped. Okay, let's keep going. So, he does bet full pot on the turn. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And I just want to, so %90 plus bets on turn. I mean, obviously there's better ways to do this, but all right, value 1, bluff 0. And by value, I mean, it's not just value, it's not top pair. I mean, I guess ace jack could possibly do this, which we still don't beat, but like, does queen jack bet just like go full pot here? I don't know, but that's not what we're seeing, so I'm not going to say that we do. This call is obviously still completely fine, but I just need to keep in mind that top pair is probably not good here. Now, I pick up 2 pair on the river, which obviously makes it, oh, look at this. Jesus. I mean, this is a double pot. I mean, he's just shoving all in for almost twice pot. Obviously, there's better ways to filter this, but I just want to get an idea. I think calling this value is like bad. I mean, it's like third nuts are better. So what are the nuts? There's pocket kings, which we can't really have. But like kings, jacks, so like third nuts are better. Like we're talking like almost nuts plus. Because saying value like that would imply that like, oh, maybe they're doing this with you know, jack 7 or something. It implies that like it could be a made hand, but it's not just a made hand. It's not just 2 pair. It's not just top pair. It's like this is you know, a set with no flush and no straights possible. Okay, so again, we go through sort of the high points. With, you know, keeping our notes in range. Is our range protected on the flop? On the turn, we can still have sets of 7, sets of 2s if we peeled with a set of 4s. And on the king, we can have our exact hand. Obviously, we can still have the sets of 2s and 7s. We can still have ace. I mean, ace jack might fold. But you know, maybe our hand is a little bit capped here, but we also need to keep in mind the fact that they're betting so large. We can still have ace king of clubs, right? Like, so we could have hit that king with king queen, ace king, king 10 of clubs. Like we can have plenty of kings in our range. It's a terrible card to bluff probably for our opponent. It's probably not a great bluffing card. And they're overbetting twice pot. So that, like right there, boom, overbet twice pot. Like we should be calling with pretty much, you know, sets or better ourselves. And I wonder, like, I mean, maybe we should be finding a fold here with like 2s, 7s, or 4s. I'm not sure about that, but this is a fold. So that's a lot of money that we wasted. Okay, next hand. All right, so. Is our hand protected with strong hand? Is our opponent betting large on turn and or river? Let's make that number 1. Sorry, you guys are kind of seeing as they say, seeing how the sausage gets made. Just kind of keep some stats down here. And like, okay, is our opponent betting large on turn and or river? Especially full pot or more. Yeah, so that needs to be like a big red flag. I don't know why I capitalized all this stuff, sorry. Like that should be like the biggest point. And then is our range protected with strong hands should be like the second thing to consider, I think. Overbet, and then I mean also like I think another rule that should be good is like did opponent raise turn? I would say number 4 would be did opponent flop. I put that one below number 3 because like, I mean, people do raise the flop with bluffs a lot. They don't necessarily always continue on the turn, especially not large, but these are some things, some wickets for deciding. These are the things I need to be thinking about when making a river call. So this is river call checklist. All right, so are they betting large on the turn and or river, especially full pot or more? Did they raise the turn? Is our range protected with strong hands? With nutted hands? And did the opponent raise the flop? So, you know, if we get through like all of these, and the answer is like no, or yes here, you know, yes, our range is protected. Or yeah, if the answer is like no to all of these, then maybe like a hero call is in order. But I would say like if, you know, if one or two of these gets hit, then we need to be like way over folding on the river. So let's continue and see if that holds true. I'm gonna pull this off to the side so we can click through. Or actually, let me here's what I'll do. Should be able to. Oh, it won't let me. That's weird. It'll fill the screen, but it won't. Sorry. Freaking amateur hour here. Why isn't this shrinking? Oh. Hopefully clicking that doesn't bring the notepad to the back. Good. Okay, there we go. All right, let's check it out. So we're uncapped. Now we are capped. All right, so our range is capped. That's good to know. Our opponent is completely uncapped here. And we flop second pair in a 3-bet pot with a capped range against an uncapped range. We have a backdoor flush draw. All right, so 3-bet pot, opponent bets large on flop that connects with his range very hard. I don't know if this needs to be a checklist item. I mean, this should just blatantly scream highly likely that we're beat here. Now, I don't hate calling once because some players might just auto bet this. Though they shouldn't, right? Like this might, I mean, maybe we can find a fold here. This is a good. Let's tag this. We're gonna just tag this for review, and anything that we review, street flop. Okay. Can I just fold flop on this hand? I'm not sure if this can just be a fold or not, but I'm gonna kind of get back and like ask some people if like maybe this is just one of those spots with this sizing in this situation. I mean, we're on the button. It's button versus big blind. Another factor, this is a smaller one, right? Like we'll jot it down as just sort of a thing, but I don't know if that should be a note or a checklist item. Maybe just something to keep in mind. But big blind does not 3-bet wide enough. Okay. So just something to keep in mind that big blinds generally are not 3-betting often enough. I'm not going to go and dig up the stats right now, but just kind of be aware that the big blind is just calling and not 3-betting as often as it should against the button. So let's keep going. All that being said, I don't think a call here is terrible. We have a backdoor. We can turn a queen and a 10. We've got like runner straight, and we have runner flush, and we have a pair plus an overcard. So I don't hate a call here. All right, 16 into 26. That's certainly more than well, half pot would be 13. So it's definitely betting a little bit larger than half pot, but still, this is not a good double barrel card. There's no reason our opponent would be bluffing. The only thing maybe is like queen 10, but again, you know, queen 10 being in his range, like queen 10 suited is 4 combos. We would expect him to maybe slow down with the queen 10s that weren't spades, but I would say this falls into, you know, are they betting large on turn and or river? So they're betting large on the turn. They also bet large on the flop. I mean, that factors in. in a 3-bet pot. So I think the turn is a clear fold, right? This is a clear fold on the turn. So there's another, what is this? 50 NL. So there's another 20, however many big blinds. Right, 30, 34, 32, Jesus. Like 32, 33, 34. 34 big blinds, something like that. All right, so now we get a king on the river, which, what does that mean? Well, now it's less likely that he is a king, and I'm just telling you what I'm probably thinking here is like, now he has less kings in his range. He might slow down with like aces or something here, and our hand is a little bit stronger. We do block aces. We have the jack, the best jack. And now that the king hits, it's less likely that he has a king. Jacks and sixes aren't a big part of his range. So now it's hard for me to get away from the hand on the king river, because so much of his, now that the king becomes less likely part of his range. All of a sudden now in my head, queen 10 becomes more likely. However, oh man, he bets 26 here. So now he's betting. So I would say that, are they betting large on turn and or river, especially full pot or more? So yeah, they did on the turn. They also did on the flop. And they are betting the river. And I would say our range isn't really that protected with nutted hands. We could have called with pocket jacks. So yeah, we could still have a full house here. We could have called with king jack suited. We could have called with pocket jack. So no, our hand is protected. They didn't raise the flop, but they bet the flop, and they're not 3-betting wide enough on the button. So that takes a lot of like queen 10 out of their range, which is pretty much one of the only hands they'd really be bluffing with. We block ace queen, which is a gut shot. And now they're also laying us a really good price to call. So we definitely can get away on the river on the turn, and then we should also fold this river, even though it's not that great. They're betting half pot, slightly less than half pot. It just looks like they're begging for us to call, and if we saw their stats, that would probably be helpful. Now, one thing to note here, yeah, I'd like to pull up some HUD stats, because like if this guy is like a complete fish, then maybe this might be more of a call. I'm not really sure. But, he's 3-betting king 10 offsuit, which is pretty light. Excuse me. Which is pretty light. But, yeah, this was a mistake. Yeah, so he just, 3-bet king 10 off and then, bet 3 streets for value against a fish. And the fish was me. So yeah, I think that we could have definitely gotten away. I do think that the river becomes a tougher fold than the turn, but the turn is just a clear fold, and the flop might even be a fold. Okay, next hand. Okay, so we bet. This looks good. All right. Did opponent raise flop? Now we have one yes. Is our range protected with nutted hands? Yep. Yeah, we can have everything here. And now they're raising the flop. So that's okay. So what I'm trying to establish is, as we go through the hand, I want to be paying attention to these things in game, because sometimes I just get to the river like that last hand. I look at the river and say, well, yeah, I've got a pretty good value hand, so maybe I should call, but I haven't factored in all these other sort of data points that led us to the river that really dictate whether or not we should call or fold. So I think the call is fine here. However, it just lends itself to we need to be willing to pretty much lay down the hand later on. So can we fold this turn? This is a large turn bet, right? 9 into 13 is not small. Now, I did say especially full pot or more, but 9 into 13, they raise the flop. They're betting the turn. There are some draws out there. Obviously, Jack 9, this is the big blind, so Jack 9 could have called. Ace 10 can call. All the pocket pairs are in play. 6, 7 right? Like, could be a thing that somebody's double barreling, especially like 6-7 of hearts. So there are some draws out there that they can have. So I don't hate calling the turn, but I don't think it's great. Now we hit 2 pair on the river. This is like a recurring theme, is like when I get a good card on the river, I forget about all the past action. Now what happens? Our opponent just jams all in. So this is a spot where if I had 6-7, I might jam in here, especially on the king. However, okay, like number 1 is checked off. Okay, so that's a huge red flag. Like, we don't have a nutted hand. We have top 2. That's not the nuts here. We were raised on the flop. Our opponent bet large on the turn and is now betting large on the river. And our hand is, I think, protected with... Now, I'm not, like, really sure how our... This is something I need to work on, is identifying when our hand is really protected with nutted hands. I mean, we're protected. We have top 2. Like, we get here sometimes with top 2, obviously. And so, like, that's the thing, is we're not even... We don't even have to imagine if our hand is protected. We're sitting here with a protected, like, with a good hand, and we can have better hands too. Now maybe we would have raised back the flop with a set of 10s or another set, or we would have raised the turn, but I don't think that's required. I think we're in position. I would call often. If I saw somebody barreling at me, I would call with sets often. And we get shown a bluff. Okay, so in this spot we actually took it down. Actually, notice it was green. So again, I would need to know about the player in this spot. And he's just bluffing 2 overs. I actually think I remember this hand. This guy might have been a fish. Let me pause it and set up the HUD. All right, so we only had 19 hands with this player. I mean, they did run into the top of our range. I think that just like based on tendencies, we would find a fold on the river. So I mean, yeah. So what does that mean? So that means we would have essentially lost. I mean, we won here, like, right? We won money here. We would have lost, our $15. So we would have lost 15, and instead. We won 50. So that's a pretty big swing. That's a $35 swing. And I guess it's possible I saw this player do something, but I think that realistically, this might be a fold. Let's mark this one as well. And for review, and river, we'll say. Alright, so while reviewing the hand, all the data pointed to this being a river fold, but it turned out he was bluffing. Is there a data point I am missing that makes this makes the call correct, or was I just lucky? And I think that's a fair question. Okay, let's do a few more. This is oops, let me close that. So replay all, starting with okay, so we did the Jack King. Actually, out of curiosity, we were against... Oh, so this was against this player. Now, these are ranked by time. Actually, I don't even know if it's the same player or not. 1239. And King 10 was a different day. So, no, they're not... no, sorry. Yeah, it was a different day. So again, this is a similar player, a sort of similar situation, right? And sort of a similar bet size. Well, although this guy's betting smaller, the other guy jammed all in. I'm not sure. I think we generally think that the all in is stronger. But anyway, King 10. All right, pocket kings. So we get called. Here we bet. I don't know if anybody knows how to move the HUD. I don't know how to unlock the HUD so I can move it. Oh, there we go. For some reason that worked. Okay. Double right click. For some reason, I guess I don't have a preferred seat for replay for the hand replayer, so I need to set that up. All right, can't find that, but we'll just keep going. All right, so we bet. We get called twice. So it's a three-way pot. Multi-way, we get called twice, so we should definitely think our opponents have some value hands. But yeah, I think double barreling here is fine. I'm betting half pot on the turn. We get called twice again. And we've got some like flushes that miss, some straights that miss. We could have players calling with top pair. This guy's clearly a fish. This guy, I don't think we have stats on. And whoa. So again, I think it changes things when this guy's a fish, right? You know, and we also have two pairs, so if he had like 10s and 7s, if he had us beat, like now we have him beat. Yeah. I mean, he's betting, it's effectively less than pot. That guy only has $8, so I mean, he knows he's only betting $27. So this is a large bet on the river. We are protected. There's no raise on the turn. There's no raise on the flop. And there was no bet on the turn, right? Like they just called. We're just getting this like out of position donk jam all in. So yeah, it could be something like ace 3. Obviously I call. And I mean, it's a guy with 10 jack. So I guess he's not even bluffing here. I don't know what he's doing, but again, when it's a fish, it definitely changes things up a little bit. So I think here against the fish for a pot size bet, maybe it's a little bit better. And also we didn't hit all the wickets. Really, we only hit this one wicket. I mean, our range has nutted hands in it. We can have over pairs here. But against a fish, I think this becomes less valuable, and the other factors become more important. So this one I'm okay with. All right. Again, I'm not really sure what's going on with the stats. All right. I don't know why I didn't 3-bet here. I should definitely 3-bet. So next time 3-bet. This is getting weird. I got 10s. Okay. This is fine. All right, so we get a call and a 4-way pot. Let's add that. That's relatively important. Like, You know, it's not the most important, but it's definitely important that it's a multi-way flop and we got a call. And we're betting big on the turn, and we're getting... Okay, so now it's starting to get real ugly. Now, is this the guy that 3-bet pre-flop? We actually had a 3-bet, technically. I think. So, yeah, I mean, this... no, he called. So he just called. Okay. All right, so one, not only is he like players overfold the turn a little bit, so even if they're calling the turn, they're not folding the river as often. So that's another like. So when players call flop and turn, right, that makes their hand a lot stronger. I gotta start drinking my coffee. I'm hungry. And then we get raised on the turn. So it's another $12 to call. All right, I think we probably should find the fold on the turn here. Maybe not though. I don't know. I don't really love the. Oh, whoa! What happened there? Why did I do that? I've got position here. I think I should just call if I'm going to call. I mean, this really makes it so that he's only going to call with better. Oh, and it happened to be... Oh, so I like... I guess I misclicked by not going all in. That's the only reason we're even seeing this hand. Yeah. Yeah. So... This one definitely, we save ourselves some money. So, I mean, if we look at these last few hands, like, right, like we lost two big ones that we could have gotten away from. We did bluff catch once. That one that was against a fish, I'm fine with. I think we make that call every time, and I think it's okay. But now we're sort of over. We're 1 for 3, right? Or 1 out of 4 has been worked out well here, and the ones that didn't were the biggest ones, and this one's real ugly too. Okay. Again, we need to rotate the HUD around. There we go. So here we get 3-bet. I mean, we can just fold to the 3-bet. I guess once this plug guy calls, it makes it a little tougher. Okay, we hit top 2. I think normally we should just check here, right? Like we should just check call, I think. But we've got a player calling on a monotone flop. That's probably not, that's probably a really good flop for players to fold. We're betting huge on the turn for a 3-bet pot. I think half pot is plenty here, especially since now we can't really fold to a raise. And yeah, obviously that's real bad. I mean, maybe we can just fold here, right? He's betting 13 into 70. I don't know. I guess not, but let's see here. I don't know. This hand is weird. So I think we should just check the flop. Because this isn't a pot that we necessarily want to get huge, right? Players can have flushes. I don't think they have any sets, although, yeah, because... so player 3 can have... is capped. I mean, this guy could theoretically... he's 26-16. I don't know if... Wait, what happened here? He's the original raiser. So, yeah, I mean, he could have pocket pairs. This guy could have high pocket pairs, but it's uncapped. I don't think 3s are a big part of this guy's range, nor are queens and kings. So he seems relatively capped. He could have suited aces, and this player obviously can have good hands. So I think checking here is fine. And we get called. And And again, betting is okay. I think half pot is okay as well. So if we bet 15 here, we'd have we'd have like what the hell 16. We'd have like 18 left, so we'd have 18 behind. No, I guess we would have 21. Sorry, that's right, 21 behind. So we'd have $21 behind, and the pot would be slightly smaller. Yeah, and he had the nut flush the whole time, and plus, like, this is kind of ugly. So I think we can bet smaller on the turn. I mean, if we check back and then bet smaller, all of a sudden this becomes a pretty small ball pot. I just think we played it too big for the monotone board. Plus, Jack 10 got there, and Jack 10's definitely in his calling range. So, yeah, the turn, I don't like this bet. Yeah, I think we just overplayed our hand a little bit. The river call is not as significant, but probably can save us, 26 big blinds by just letting this go. I mean, he's never bluffing here. He's a 26-16. Okay, we'll do one more. All right, so let's see here. This is good practice, though, because when you go through and identify all these things, it should be a little easier to pick up in game, and that's sort of the goal here. Okay, so I see bet flop, which is fine. I'm open-ended, plus I have top pair. Ooh, okay, so we get raised. All right, so there's a factor right there. We got raised. This is a what looks like a... Oh, no, hold on. Let's make sure we're looking at the right HUD. Okay, this is... Seems like every player has the same profile that we're playing against. Player 20. But this is player 13. Is there a player 13? Interesting. Okay, I'm going to turn off the HUD. I'm not trusting it anymore. So I'll try to see if I can set up this same filter in Poker Tracker 4 and do it there next time. But this is something I'm going to continue doing. Anyway, we get raised. Excuse me, which is fine. Backdoor diamonds, open-ended straight draw. I'm okay with this. Wow. I noticed we actually won this hand, which is weird. I feel like... I mean, we're still open-ended. We still have top pair, but... if we call 18 on the turn, like, we're going to have a $60 pot with $20 behind to call with on the river. So now we've got, they raise the flop. They bet large on the turn, especially full pot or more. This is pretty much full pot. So we're hitting a few of these wickets. We were the pre-flop raiser, so we're uncapped. And we hit two pair. I mean, this looks like just a clear cut. And the problem is he only has 15 bucks. So yeah, we have two pair, but I mean, I would just never expect to win here. Somehow we do. I don't know. I'm not really sure why he bet the river. I have no idea what to make of this one. I mean, I guess I expect to lose here a lot, but... And if we had stats, maybe that would give us a hint, but I mean, getting 4.5 to 1... I guess this is how I make these calls. Now, Here's the thing is like this is not a especially large river bet. So let's go ahead and note this one up too. This is a tough one, right? This is just general about the hand. So what's our question here? Is I just don't think we should really be finding a fold on the turn, even though it is a large bet. And even though we're going to have to call river. I don't know, maybe. So yeah, I'm not even sure what to write here. Hold on, let me think for a second. All right, so what I wrote here is a little bit of a long note, but it said with all of the data points pointing to opponent having nutted hand, flop raise, large turn bet, river jam, can we find a fold here in any of those spots, or are we stuck calling to the river? Do we have to call the river? Obviously it worked this time, but are we winning this 1 out of 5 times? It needs to be 1 out of 5.5, but you get the idea. Okay, let's see, we've got a few hands here where we win. So again, like I do see why this happened and how it happened in game, and I do think it is different than these hands, especially this one. But you can see like these aren't totally clear cut like me playing terrible in all of these. I mean, I think these two were pretty rough. This one I got lucky. This one was okay. What was this one? That one was rough. So definitely some room for improvement, but there are going to be some where we actually do okay here. And this is the other thing to keep in mind here is what we filtered for. We filtered for, these are 2 pair. Right, so these are the spots where we get with 2 pair. I think 2 pair is going to be sort of like the toughest spots. And then I bet like next time, maybe tomorrow during the day, I'll do 1 pair and we'll look at those. And then maybe we can even find some like 3 of a kind spots or full house spots. You know, we'll go through pretty much all of these. But yeah, I think 1 pair is where I'm going to really find some leaks. As you can see, I'm actually losing more often when I call with 1 pair. And yeah, so, but, you know, keep in mind though that if we folded 100%, we'd be losing a lot more than this. So there are correct calls in here. We just need to sort of identify where we're making the incorrect ones. But let's do... let's do this hand. Okay, so let's go here. All right, no real data points here. Bet full pot on the flop. Sure, that's a thing. People bet full pot. That's a little bit stronger. 4, 5, 6. So yeah, a pair of 6s makes a straight, but we have a flush draw in top pair. Another full pot bet. Be nice to have stats on this guy. I'm not folding on the river or on the turn here because of the flush draw, but obviously worried, you know, this guy can have sets, he can have straights, he can have everything. We also can have most of that stuff, although I think we raise most of our sets on the flop. We could also raise some flush draws on the flop, but I think I probably called with this one because we also had the pair. But now we've got a large turn on the large bet on the turn, and you know, that's it. It is blind versus blind, and we get 2 pair on the river, and he bets pot. Man, I wish. So is this okay? Player 19, this is player 19, so this is his actual stats, okay? Because like this, it seems like I would normally find a fold here. I only have 8 hands on this guy, but his VPIP is 88%. I don't know, this looks like a fold. because we're really only hitting one. We're hitting the number one item, and it is blind versus blind. All right, let's see what he actually ended up. He had pocket nines. I don't know. It's hard to say like that this should be a fold when I win a nice big pot from it. And like there's not a good spot to fold. Again, I think like this is very typical. I think 3 times now, 3 of these hands on the river have been, I hit the 2 pair on the river. So a situation where with 1 pair I'd easily make the laydown. I'm picking up 2 pair and all of a sudden making the call. Now, another thing to factor in is that the fact that I hit 2 pair, I don't think on any of these. So that one, it didn't change what the opponent would do at all, or what I would do, rather, in reaction to the opponent. This one, yeah, the river card helping caused me to call. This one, the river card coming, caused me to call, right? Because we made it on the river. So that 2 pair, caused me to call where I'd otherwise fold. This river caused me to call where I otherwise would fold. This river caused me to call where I would otherwise fold, and I happen to be correct this time. This one's a little bit different. Actually, the 2 pair does come on the river, but didn't change my decision making. This one didn't either, or shouldn't have. This one we added on the flop. And this is the one we're on right now. No, this one we actually got it on the river as well. And yeah, that was, I guess I still would have called based on the odds. So I'm not sure that one changed my mind. It actually made it harder to call probably. This one, again, we got it on the river. And probably that's, what caused us to call. The thing is that I don't know. I mean, I guess he had us up until the river, so we would have folded the river had the jack not come. It just happened that this one was correct and this was a fish. So I'm sorry if I'm rambling a little bit. I'm just trying to figure out if this is just a bad call, or if because it's a fish, even over 8 hands. I mean, he's played 88% of hands, so. Right, like the 2 calls that I think are reasonable are against fish. Now, that's the problem. So as soon as we pop the HUD up, it's not refreshing with each hand. Okay. Well, at least we know how to get the HUD to pop up now. We just need to turn it off and then turn it back on. Use for similar tables. Okay, so whatever. HUD could use some work here. I'll try to find this filter in PT4 so we can do it there next time. Okay, so I guess my question is, like, do we just call wider against fish in general? Is that the general rule? I mean, typically fish are sort of passive. So I think what we can kind of infer is that a lot of fish just don't understand the value of their hand. So when we have 2 pair against a fish, it's a lot stronger than 2 pair against a reg, where they're polarized. And when regs are polarized, ooh, this is a good thought. When regs are polarized, they are weighted towards value when they bet large on the turn. So let's write that out a little bit. Okay, so let me wordsmith this, and then we'll. All right, I think this is helping me because I'm starting to get some ideas that I think are pretty good. When a fish gets to the river, they often do not understand the value of their hand. This makes calling with good but not nutted hands slightly better. When a reg bets large on the river, they are fairly polarized, and we know that they are not bluffing enough, so it makes folding better generally with our bluff catchers, 2 pair trips. 2 pair trips type hands. Hopefully that makes sense. I think that's a really good takeaway from this hour study session, is that when we see regs, and let's go back to this other. What was the? This is the one where we actually won. So let's can we show HUD? Okay. Let's see if we can get some stats to pop up here. Okay, so this is player 20. Player 20. Okay. So this does look like, I mean, we only have 19 hands, but this does look like a reg. So again, we did win this hand, but I just wanted to check what the deal was. But they were bluffing. I mean, they've got a pretty good blocker. So not a bad bluff by our opponent. And yeah, this one I'll ask about. But I just wanted to check to make sure that that was a reg, because that makes a difference. Okay. Okay. Last hand. We'll make this an hour video. We have a limp. We isolate. Call. Okay. Probably okay. So I kind of like betting here when they both check to us in a multi-way pot. I like even like a $3 bet here. I think is good. Ace hits. We would expect some of their ranges to have aces in them. We get a pot-sized bet on the turn. So we don't know anything about this guy, so it's a complete unknown. Let's just get rid of the HUD, since we just don't want to see that he played 100% of his hands and credit anything to that. So although he does have half a stack, it looks like. So maybe we can kind of determine that just the fact that he's buying in for half a stack, or that he's sitting here with half a stack after one hand, means that maybe he's a bit of a fish. He bets full pot here after checking the turn. So we have one little note, like, did they bet large on the turn? Yes. However, he could easily be, he could easily have any other ace. So we like dominate all the other aces. This is a little bit different. I mean, this is I guess more of a one pair hand. The 10's not great because he could have ace 10. I assume he goes all in here. And we've got 2 pair with the king kicker. Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling this is probably okay. Maybe not. But I don't know. The fact that he's sitting here with half a stack, I'd like to see what the previous hand was, because he maybe lost 20 bucks in the previous hand, or he bought in for this amount. I'm not sure which, but yeah, I mean, maybe that's a real small part of his range that we just ran into. I mean, okay, so he's limping ace queen. So even though I haven't seen much, like, he's got half a stack, he's limping, like, he's definitely fishy. So, and I mean, we do kind of run into the top of our range in this spot. I just hate his play so much. I don't know what to think of this one. He's, again, it's just that he must be a fish because he just doesn't understand the value of his hand. Like, his hand shouldn't be doing what it's doing. And so the fact that he ends up with this hand on the river and he thought he was like value betting is just kind of bizarre. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this one. I'm not going to mark this. I mean, we don't know he's a fish at the point we play the hand, but I guess we can suspect it from the fact that he limp called, he's got 30 bucks behind, and maybe whatever we saw the previous hand. So I don't hate this, but I'm not sure if it's necessarily correct. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely think it was valuable for me. Possibly valuable for you guys to see. And next time, I think what I want to do is look at the one pair hands. Some of these two pair hands were more like one pair hands because the board was paired. And I think we'll find some more errors in the one paired hands, but we definitely found some pretty good errors. So if we had folded these top three hands, I think we would have done a little better, right? Again, because the river bets are pretty large, we're losing, you know, let's say that we lose, if we get 3 all-ins and we're right on 2 out of 3, maybe that's actually exactly break even. Hold on. I think that's exactly break even on pot size bets. This guy's actually a little bit short. So that one, yeah, so there's 100. So we win 50 and we would lose $30 and $30 probably. I guess so we'd lose 50 big blinds and then we would lose $30 and 30 big blinds. No, that was 100. So we lost. Oh, by calling the river. Sorry. So by calling the river, we lost an additional 70 big blinds here. No, we gained an additional 70. No, sorry. Damn it. Sorry, long session. Yeah, so this call made us 50 big blinds in profit, or how do we count that? I guess we made 50. So we profited 100 big blinds here at 50 NL. So we profited 100 big blinds, and then here we lost on the river. Although this one I think we probably could have folded the turn. We lost an additional 26. And here we lost an additional 110. So this one's really bad. This is like the worst one. So this is 110 big blind bet on the river. So this one's really ugly. So we lost an additional 110 plus 30. So we lost 140 and we made 100. So that's a 40 big blind, mistake. So if we had just folded all three, we would have been better off. Anyway, that's not really the right way to go about looking at all of this, but just a quick little note. All right, I'm going to go through the one pair hands next time. I'll bet we'll find some more errors, some more big mistakes. So stay tuned for that. If you guys enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, leave some comments. Let me know what you thought of these hands that I put notes on. Let me know if you think there's some other concepts that I might be missing or that I might need to add in to think about these hands better. Thanks, guys. Till next time, keep on studying, keep on grinding.